Hello and welcome to a very special edition of European Footballer Adda. Today we have got two of our founding members almost, Shomojit and Arafat Dada from London in this episode. We are recording this on 19th of June. So one day has elapsed after the round one matches, but we are basing this discussion as the major talking points that we have on and off the field after the first round of football matches has happened at the 2026 Football World Cup. So welcome once again. And welcome Shomojit, welcome Arafat Dada. Let us first talk about the elephant in the room. Is 48 teams too many for World Cup? Is it helping you in following a lot of different teams and are you enjoying that? Or is it creating a bit of a fatigue? Or is it like you're not able to figure out which team to follow because there are so many matches every day?
Okay, initially I was very skeptical about this new format because I thought that with 48 teams, the quality of the games would collapse radically. But sincerely, after the match day one, we have seen all teams playing already. So I have to admit that I was wrong because I'm actually enjoying this tournament. I remember the World Cup that I enjoyed least. It was 2018 World Cup in Russia. The quality of game in that World Cup was so poor. So especially after that World Cup, I was very skeptical about this larger version of the World Cup. But I have to say that what we are watching in this tournament, that the I would say like the quality of middle class team has increased compared to 20 years ago. So 20 years ago, the difference between big teams and lower teams was like it's a big difference. But now, because all teams they play like physical football, all teams are coached by coach who are trained in Europe in Western football. So the tactically we can see even small teams like Capo Verde or Haiti. Before the tournament, I thought that Haiti was the weakest team of whole tournament. But then when I watched the match against Scotland, I was very surprised. Like Scotland has won the match 1-0, but actually Haiti played far better than Scotland. Then we saw Capo Verde, we saw Congo, and so many other new teams that they performed really well. So I think the only team who has failed to show their quality is Curacao. So even other teams like Asian teams like Jordan, Iraq, I thought like they were very poor to play in the World Cup. But when I watched their match, actually, even though they have lost with big margin, but they played well. They played well. They made matches competitive. Iraq has lost 4-1 against Norway. If you see only the result, it might seem like very big margin. But if you actually watch the match, you have to admit that Iraq has played really well. Very good football, nice football. So yeah, initially I was very skeptical about this, but more I'm watching matches and more I'm convinced that this format is. I think FIFA is having very successful World Cup so far. I
No,
was
that's
very, very, very skeptical about this World Cup because of the host nations, large tournaments, ticket price, all these things. But after match day one, I have to say, like the Infantino, the plan he had in his head, so far it's going very well for him.
so I agree. I mean, even for Curacao, they were level 1-1 with Germany after 20 minutes. And so after that, they shipped six more goals. But what I was talking was from the perspective of a casual viewer. So here, most of the people who are viewing already have their, the fan hat on. So somebody is a fan of Argentina, somebody's a fan of Spain, somebody's a fan of England or whatever, and they follow that team. But there are so many other watchers who actually will watch normal site of list of matches just to find where they can get the best kind of football, because it's a World Cup. It comes only every 4 years. Given that the number of matches, and more than the number of matches, the packing of 4 matches in a day, and I understand, Dada, you are in London, so your timings are different. Maybe I would ask Shomoji the same question, because the timings here are slightly different. So from that perspective, and also the perspective of watching so or keeping track of so many teams, is that affecting his perception of this World Cup?
Right. So before addressing your point, I would just pivot to something that was mentioned by both you and Arafat earlier. So the Curacao versus Germany match, right? 7-1 scoreline. What I want to point out is it's not an unfamiliar scoreline, and one of the teams is also not an unfamiliar part of that scoreline. So if you go back
Touche.
2014 semi-final, it was not Curacao. It was a team which everybody expects to see in the World Cup. And they also were at the end of the same scoreline. And probably Curacao gave a better fight.
Yeah, true.
So let's not talk about one-off scorelines. One-off scorelines happen in every World Cup. Even if you play a World Cup with the top 8 teams, one of those games could turn out to be lopsided. That's all. Now, coming to your point is very fair. So, uh, see, ideally, I think this kind of a tournament with 48 teams, 12 groups, and then almost from two-thirds of the groups, the top 3 teams advancing to the next round, this kind of dilutes the importance of the group stage. The group stage is supposed to have some jeopardy, right? So there has to be some groups of death. Uh, there has to be some big names, big nations who will be disappointed, and that all adds to the charm of the World Cup. So when we talk about World Cups, we don't just talk about glory; we also talk about failure. For example, the great French team, after their World Cup win in 1998, they went out in the group stages in 2002. They lost the first match to Senegal 1-0. And I think everyone remembers that scoreline. So that is another charm. But this time, I think the jeopardy is not there. That is something which is really taking away from the attraction of the group stages. And the second thing, fatigue, that is also 100% true in my opinion. Uh, in a tournament of this size, it should have been a 2 month long tournament, which we all know due to the club football calendar, it's not possible to have a 2 month long World Cup. So they have packed it in. They have probably, I mean, earlier the World Cups used to be around 1 month. They have probably made it a week longer, but that is not enough. And what is happening is I'm losing track of the matches. So that is definitely taking away from my enjoyment. But in terms of the quality of matches, as Arafat also pointed out, I have nothing to complain, at least till.
Yeah, true. I wanted to highlight on that Jeopardy thing, because uh, previous to this, the World Cup was 32 teams, and we have added 16 teams to the World Cup in this round. Okay, now how many teams will be eliminated after the group stage? 12
Uh,
teams. 12
one
teams.
one team from each group and four
16
super
teams.
teams.
So
16 teams.
16
Yeah,
teams. So you will be left with exactly 32 teams to play the main round, which is basically the knockout round.
I
So,
think this is the only negative side of this,
so
because at the end, from it's very difficult to go out from the group stage. Like all these
exactly.
teams, yeah.
Exactly. So the point Shomojit was talking about, France 1998 getting eliminated in 2002 via Senegal. Forget that. Germany got eliminated in 2018. They were the champions. Belgium could not get through. Germany got eliminated in 2022 also. So every time there were two European teams in one group, it it somehow could have been a group of death. This time it is not, because unless you are the rank fourth team, and you are not the rank fourth team because exactly 16 teams have been added. So, and 16 teams are getting eliminated. So I feel that to increase the jeopardy, they could have made the groups maybe bigger. Instead of four, maybe make it six, and take top three, something like that, top four, something like that. The point of the thing is that that is one part. The second part, I think, what Shomojit did not touch upon exactly, the matches are happening in Asia mostly after midnight. Okay, so there are set of matches which are round about our dinner time. Then there is one around midnight. Then there is one around three, kind of. Then there is one around 6 in the morning, kind of. And
Here as well in London, we have two matches, one at 2 o'clock, 2 a.m., and one at 5 a.m. So
right, no, but you can very well afford to come back from your work and then watch maybe 2 or 3 matches.
yeah,
However, if there are 4 matches on every day of the week,
no one can
for a
watch.
working professional, which most of us are, it is absolutely impossible to keep track of more than one match. Even if, I mean, even one match is not possible sometimes, because that match, like today's match, is only starting after midnight. But then again, today's matches are happening on a weekend, so that's a different thing. The second point that I wanted to pivot to, and that's basically another talking point, is the broadcast quality. Now, here I want to directly ask between how you are watching in London, and then I want to ask Shomojit, I mean me also, how we are watching in India, and then see uh, how they stack up, because the experience that we get of staying up late is only possible if the watching experience is good. The matches are very good. The quality of the broadcast that adds or subtracts to it. I saw something on Twitter the other day that there is a German channel which is showing the matches in ultra HD. They are showing inside the match the speed at which the players are running. Sometimes when somebody is getting a pass, they're showing what is the relative position of the entire I mean the position map of the entire 22 players on that ground, somewhere around there. And it's a very generic thing. What kind of support you're giving through your added analysis with the matches? So those are the aspects which adds or deletes. I want to first come to Shomojit on this.
So see, I have gone old school. I mean, you and I are both watching from India, but most probably we are watching slightly in a different way. So I have gone old school and I have taken a cable connection because I didn't want to actually. I mean, I saw so many complaints about Z5, and the scheme was also, I mean, it was just very unfair to the consumer, right? So you are only offering a package for 3 months at such a high cost. I mean, I can afford it, but on principle, I thought that no, let me not support this. Let me go back to cable. I'm watching on cable now. The problem is, yeah, in cable, we don't get to, I mean, what we do normally, right? We sometimes move back to watch the previous action. At any point of time, we can go and watch the highlights. So all that I'm not getting. But in terms of the viewing experience, I mean, probably it's not directly addressing your point, but I am getting that old school feeling again because in my childhood, I mean, obviously not in my childhood, in all our childhood, we used to watch it on TV on TV broadcast.
Terrestrial TV.
Yeah, terrestrial TV. So,
Yeah.
but then in terms of the other qualitative aspects of the broadcast, you talked about the picture quality and all. I think there's nothing to be said about it. What we are, I mean, even what is being dished out in cable is not up to the standards that we expect in this age. I would like to add the quality of the panel. So the discussion panel, I mean, even last time it was actually a new channel which showed it here, Geo Cinema, right? At the time, it started off with many teething problems. Probably the initial part was even worse than this because at least here this time we are getting to see the matches at least in low quality, even if in low quality. Last time, even the initial matches could not be seen as a whole because there were so many snacks. But one thing they did right was they got a good discussion panel for the halftime, pre-match, post-match discussion. And this time the discussion panel is really underwhelming. I mean, I'm not getting anything out of it, and that also adds to the experience, right?
No, this time I'm watching on TV on BBC channel, like British national TV channel. In Europe, in every country, they like when it comes to World Cup or Euro Cup, they always show in the national TV, so everyone can watch in the TV channel. And World Cup is for
That is
me,
how
it's
it
a
should be.
tradition.
That is how it should be.
Yeah. No, for example, club football, I'm used to watch on computer, on laptop. But when it comes to the World Cup, so far in my life, I always watched in TV and all family together, for friends and family, all people together. Like when Brazil played last week, it was Saturday night, so it was a day off. So all my like close friends, we watched together at 2 o'clock. So I felt like when I was kid, I remember the first World Cup I was, even though I was very little, I don't remember many things, but I just remember that I was used to wake up at 3 or 4 a.m. and all guests and relatives, they used to come to our home to watch the football together. So I'm having that kind of feelings this time as well. And about the quality of the broadcast, yeah, in BBC here we have so many additional things because of the technology, of course. They are showing us the speed of the players, the sprint of the players, and then this like when they make shoots. So they even show the how speed was that shot. So we can see like when Vinicius scored that goal against Morocco. So they immediately they showed the speed of that shot, which was 123 kilometers per hour. So these small things, but it adds some values, I think. So what else? Another thing I liked very much, which I already saw in Serie A last year, but in this World Cup, I think they are doing even better. Is match. So
Referee cam,
yeah,
yeah.
referee cam. In last season in Serie A, we have already watched that, but I think in this World Cup they made that camera even better quality.
Yeah. So so both of you are watching it on terrestrial TV. I'm watching it on OTT, on the Z5 app. Um, and I completely echo that there is no added benefit or plus in actually not unmuting my TV. I can watch it on mute and be happy because there's too much of ads, there's too much of inane discussion. Even a thing that is there in our domestic cricket telecast, which is that they show the key moments inside the match. I can come to a key moment section where it will show where are the probably the out
Right.
or the sixes or boundaries or whatever. They will show that the entire match may have missed till a some point, and I come to the key moments and I watch that. I get an idea for that. The same thing could have been done. All you have to do is get that that sorted, that what are the highlight points, and then you do that. But that is not there. Selective highlights is not there. Player cam is not there.
I think the reason why none of the big ones bid for the World Cup, who are more what should I say, experienced in broadcasting sports, was because it didn't make sense. It was priced too high. So it's a little counterintuitive, right? So at one end we are having a 48 team tournament, which is quote unquote to make it a truly global experience. But then, if that is your philosophy, why would you make the broadcasting rights unaccessible to even large established players? I
Right.
mean, FIFA definitely has to think about this. And yeah, I mean, today it's a global game, right? So maybe 60,000, 70,000 people are watching in the stadium, and I mean, 100 times that audience is there all across the globe. So unless you
Right.
put that right, your product is going to suffer.
Right. Let's now focus to something on the ground. We have talked about off-field broadcasting and all. On the ground, we have seen round one matches so far. Scandinavians have impressed. Norway and Sweden, after a very long time. Denmark is not there, but Norway and Sweden, hugely impressive. Iberians have flopped. Spain and Portugal. Okay. Do you see a possibility where multiple Scandinavian teams are into, let's say, the quarterfinals? Remember, there is one additional
Round of
knockout
32.
round, one additional knockout round now added. So round of 32 is now added. Round of 32, round of 16, and then the quarterfinals. So do you see these two Scandinavians team both have excellent attacks?
I would actually wait another game because, I mean, yeah, I mean, granted, they won by large, huge score margins, but the oppositions were not probably the best teams around. So I would wait for another game to see if they can keep up that level of performance to make a final judgment on that. But yes, one thing, it's a larger thing. So there are, I mean, the quality of strikers in these teams is probably they have the best, some of the best strikers in the world, right?
Yeah,
Haaland and
Sorloth, Haaland,
Isaac and
uh,
Gyökeres.
yeah, Isaac,
Exactly.
Gyökeres.
So if you have good strikers in a tournament, I think that's a big plus because I mean over in a league season, probably even if you have a striker scoring 20 goals, 25 goals, if the rest of the team is not that good, ultimately you will come down to the median or to your overall acceptable level. But then in a tournament, goals are very important. And I think that gives a very big advantage to these teams because they have players who can score goals and win them matches and in knockout games, one goal makes a difference. So
Yeah.
I think one of them might progress, but then yeah, I have to see how they fare against some of the slightly bigger teams. Now, coming to your point about Spain, Spain has earlier also been somewhat like this, even when they at their peak tiki taka, the Barca group 2010, they lost the first game. I think we all remember. So again, I would not make a very quick judgment on Spain. Let's wait. They grow into the tournament. And I think the basics are right. I mean, the way they want to play, they played. They couldn't get a goal, but then the next game they probably will because they have the quality. The team I'm really not very hopeful about is Portugal because I think the the legend who is starting up front, he should not be starting, and he is dragging the team down.
About the Nordic countries, I'm finishing just adding one thing. I think Norway is a little bit a kind of expected because Norway is a very good team. Not only Holland and Solo, but also Nusa. Then the midfield defense in every department. They're a very strong team. So Norway, I think they can go until quarterfinals, which is I'm expecting from them. About Sweden, I'm not that much hopeful about Sweden because even in the qualification, they struggled a lot and they qualified from the playoff. So this is about Nordic countries. About the Iberian from Spain, I think we shouldn't make any prejudgment just after one match because we cannot forget what they have done in 4 previous years just from one match. Again, you have that kind of match in 1 year that you make so many shots, so many chances, but you somehow miss. Somehow luck doesn't favor you. The goalkeeper Vozinha was superb on that match. But I think Spain will come back, and I'm considering them to play the final of this World Cup. About the Portugal, okay, here as Dada mentioned about the Cristiano Ronaldo issue, I think Portugal has a very good team. If you see the midfield, I'm not talking of the bench depth, maybe because I think if you consider the bench depth, Spain has better midfield. But if you think about the starting 11, I think Portugal has by far the best midfield in this world. Like Bruno Fernandes, he made records in Premier League. Bernardo Silva, he's one of the key players in Man City. Vitinha and João Neves, we are all seeing what they are doing in PSG last 2 years. Vitinha, I think, in this moment, he's probably the best midfielder of the world. If not the best, you can discuss. Like we can have discussion if Pedri or Vitinha, but between two, like he's or the best or second best midfielder of this world. So the midfield is fantastic. In defense, they are decent. They're not bad. In right back, they have Cancelo, Dalot. On left back, they have Nuno, who is like without any discussion, maybe the best left back in the world. So center back is not bad. Ruben Dias, Inacio, they're very good defense. The only issue we have in this Portugal, it's Shumaji I've already mentioned, the Cristiano Ronaldo. Of course, he's a legend. When we talk about Cristiano Ronaldo, I don't want to disrespect him or his career. He's one of the greatest of all times. But now we have to understand he's 41 now. And I think in this moment, he's not an asset for the team, but more like a burden for the team. Because I'm not like his replacement is Gonzalo Ramos. I'm not saying Gonzalo Ramos is better than Cristiano Ronaldo, but what Gonzalo Ramos can give to this team is more teamwork, team effort. So the last England match, what we have seen from Harry Kane. So in 2026, how a modern striker should play attacking football was shown by Harry Kane. If you see the heat maps of Cristiano Ronaldo against Congo, he was most of the time behind the offside line, behind the defensive, like Congolese defensive line. So he was literally walking around the D box and didn't make any movement to create space for others. You can say, okay, Bruno Fernandes could have make an assist as he does in every match in Manchester United. Why he doesn't do it with Portugal? He doesn't do with Portugal because he doesn't have any striker in front of him who make those runs, those movements that create space for others. So if you don't make space, so who has the ball? Who will give the pass to? So this is a huge problem with Portugal. Portugal, I think they can. They have the potentiality to play at least semi-final. I'm not saying they're favorite for the World Cup because to win the World Cup, I think you need also the experience, the history, all these things. But with this team, I think they can make semi-final, at minimum quarter-final. But with the squad, with the 11 they used against Congo, and the way they played against Congo, they will struggle to go until quarter-final, I think.
Okay.
See, I think I just add one word about one point about Ronaldo. So, see, he's very motivated, and especially I think because Messi has got a World Cup in his cabinet, he wants to equal that. Problem is when motivation turns into desperation, it never helps the team. And at this point, looking at Cristiano's body language, looking at the fact that he's insisting to start and complete, let's not kid ourselves. He is the manager, right? Roberto Martinez is just a figurehead. So he's insisting on starting and completing games. It gives a sense of desperation, and that is never good for success.
True. From the Scandinavian success, one of the victims of that success, Sweden's 5-1 win over Tunisia, one of that victims was the head coach Sabri Lamouchi. Sabri Lamouchi became the first manager ever in the history of I think any big sports, not just football, cricket, football, rugby. He became the first manager to be dismissed mid-tournament after just one match. Sweden defeated Tunisia 5-1, and Sabri Lamouchi got sacked on June 15. Harvey Renard is taking over.
This is so amateur level. Like this is so amateur.
There's no way. I mean, see, managing a football team is not a joke, right? I mean, you cannot just bring in somebody in the middle of a tournament and expect results. I see this. I mean, maybe Lamouchi would not have taken Tunisia into the knockout stage anyway, but they should have continued with him. If they have invested in him, if they have trusted in him to start the first game as the manager, they should let him complete the tournament.
Okay, one record by Sabri Lamouchi, which is very inglorious. The another record is basically the one of the greatest records of all time, which is the record of Miroslav Klose's 16 goals. The highest number of goals that a player has scored in World Cup. On the same night, after a hat-trick by the one and only Lionel Messi and brace by Kylian Mbappe, now that record is at stake. Messi is level with
Forget Harry Kane.
yeah, Harry Kane is at 10. So Harry Kane is at 10. So Messi is at level at 16. Mbappe is 14 and Harry Kane is at 10. Who do you think will break it after this World Cup? Who will be the highest so far? Probably, I mean, who will break it may depend on who will play the match first. So I don't know. I mean, I'm not asking you to pitch
End
on
of the
that.
world.
I am saying end of this World Cup between these three players, who do you think will be at the number one position?
So Mbappe has big possibility because obviously he plays for France, and France I think is the strongest squad in this World Cup and the most favorite team to win this World Cup. So most probably they might play the final. So in that case, he will play most number of matches, and also he's in his peak now. So he's 27. So this is like the peak form of Mbappe, the best version of Mbappe we have seen or we will see, because one player his peak is between 25 to 30 is 5 years. So it's very much possible that he will be the highest goal scorer of World Cup history after this World Cup. With Harry Kane, it's more difficult. Maybe he will need another tournament, another, like maybe in the next World Cup he can join with Messi. But whenever you have Messi in the list, you have to consider him. Like before this World Cup, I think no one has. I'm a huge Messi fan, and I'm telling you, I did never expected Messi to score a hat trick against Algeria in that match. Like it was completely unexpected and unimaginable for me as well. And whenever he is there, you cannot just ignore him. So he's already leveled, as you said. Maybe he can already surpass in the next match. The next match is against Austria, I think, Austria or Jordan.
Yeah, I mean, who will go to 17 is not the question here. I'm not asking who will go to 17
Okay.
because this tournament is a long tournament. So I am sure that if Harry Kane has to be the number one, then maybe both Argentina and France have to leave at the round of 32. Both will qualify. So maybe they lose at round of 32 and Harry Kane goes into maybe semi-final or final and he scores those goals, which takes him above this list. That is one possibility. The other possibility, like you said, that either Argentina goes to the later stages, France goes to the later stages, and then they. But what is your prediction between these three?
Mbappe. I'm saying Mbappe.
Shomojit?
I think Mbappe is a smart choice. But I have a feeling that England will go far in this tournament and Harry Kane will score a handful of goals. Whether that will be enough or not, I don't know. But I am backing him to have a very successful World Cup.
I think Mbappe is a basically a smart choice. But having said that, the way the refereeing is happening, I am not discounting Messi not scoring too many goals either, and in a sneaky way. But there is a wild card I will play here, and that wild card is one Erling Haaland. He might end up, if Norway goes through to quarterfinals at least, he may end up as maybe scorer of 10 goals, 12 goals. Maybe not this World Cup. Now, this World Cup definitely one of Mbappe or Messi will finish in the top, but it could be Haaland. Haaland is barely 22, right? 21, 22. Haaland
24 or 22?
22, 23, maybe in early 20s. Early
He'll
20s.
have at least 3 World Cups more. That is for sure.
Exactly,
If
exactly.
he stays fit.
So that kind of goal scoring form, um, yeah, of course.
He's 25 already.
Oh, it's 25. Okay,
Yeah.
then I take that back. But yeah, Mbappe is also my this thing. And related to this, since we are talking about Messi, just a one word answer: was that a red?
It was yellow, not red, but yellow definitely. Because if you see the replay, like not the replay, the screenshot, it looks like a red. But if you see the live action, it was more like a yellow. But yellow, definitely yellow.
Was
See,
it
it was
was it a VAR callback or not?
No, no, not for me.
Okay.
Because in this World Cup, we are seeing referees there allowing hard and tough football compared to other tournaments. We have seen many big, like even Bernardo Silva, the foul he made against Congo. I think the yellow is fair decision.
Okay.
Many people might say red, but I love this kind of hard football.
Okay.
For me, it's yellow.
Okay.
See, for me, it's a deep orange. But I would want to say one thing that if the boot was on the other foot, then it would have been definitely a red. I mean, if Messi was on the end of the tackle from an Algerian player, it would have been definitely a red. I can guarantee that. But yes, looking at it objectively, I think it's deep orange. You can argue both for and against it being a red.
From on the field, off the field, slightly on the political side of this World Cup. The World Cup had started with at least a lot of negative talks around World Cup of exclusion with fans from four of the qualifying nations: Iran, Haiti, Cote d'Ivoire, and Senegal, who are under the US travel ban. There was the incident with the Sudanese referee, and then
I
Somalian.
think
Somalian
disgrace.
referee, yeah. And then, of course, the entire story of Iran in this World Cup itself is a huge talking point. If Iran and the US both finish second in their group, they actually clash in round of 32.
So
Having
I
said,
think it's a disgrace, absolutely a disgrace. Because, see, as FIFA, I mean, US is a sovereign country; they can do whatever in there. But I'm putting Infantino's hat here. So, US is not hosting the World Cup alone, right? You have Canada and Mexico. So, teams or nations which have travel bans, you put their matches in Canada and Mexico. That solves the problem. So, what was exactly stopping them? It's a complete disgrace.
No, it's as I said, it's very disgraceful because first of all, no one obligated USA to host this World Cup. They asked for, and they have been won by lottery or whatever. And like for in last World Cup or in any other World Cup, we saw the teams when they landed to the airports. There were the local delegation to receive them with flowers, with gifts, or with some cultural things to show their local culture and everything. But this year we have seen so many, like for example, Uzbekistan team or Iraqi team when they landed in the US airports, they were making like they searched them like they were criminals or immigrants. So this is like very disgraceful from the hospitality some nations had. It was not only disgraceful, also if you talk about like racism, you can put also that issue in this. FIFA wanted to make 48 teams tournament to make larger and to include the whole world, but at the end we have seen it was not inclusive, but it's very exclusive. But also the ticket issues, visa issues, everything. For example, even the visa. Like if you want to obtain the US visa, now you have to pay I think 15,000 crores. So there's so many complications, and also like when they make interviews, the like fun interviews, in all other World Cups, we saw, like for example, in Qatar or in Russia. So when they interviewed the fans were actually from those countries. Like if they interviewed Somalian man, that Somalian man actually flew from Somalia to watch that man. But here in USA, all the interviews I saw from fans, they are fans born in USA. So it was not like a Senegali fan who flew from Senegal to watch his team in this tournament. Like the Senegalese support you are seeing in the stadium in TV, they were actually born in that country. So it was very exclusive to US people rather than the whole world.
Right, right. Let us come back to the sports side, the final topic. I'll just need one very quick, short answer. You have seen the 48 teams so far. Each team had a level of expectation in your mind. So the level of expectation that you had for, let's say, top tier teams like Spain, France, Argentina was at one level. The expectation that you had from Jordan, Curacao, those were at one level. So there was a level of expectation. My question is one team which has impressed you more than what you expected from them. So the delta is more.
Yeah, I was surprised by USA. Like although like Paraguay has played very bad game, but on that match, USA, I think they played the most entertaining football in this tournament as a team performance. It was more than a club performance rather than a national team performance. Like every position, every player was involved in the game. I'm hugely impressed by USA.
I have been pretty impressed with Egypt actually. Egypt is a perennial underperformer in these tournaments, and last time also when in 2018 when Salah was the like probably the best player in the world at the moment, they didn't play really well. But I think that game against Belgium, and let's not forget Belgium is a very formidable team, right? I mean, even though they may not have that peak golden generation, still if you look at the squad, it's I mean, apart from the defense, probably it's filled with top class players playing in Champions League, playing in title contending teams, etc. Right? And the performance that they gave against Belgium, I was really
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, probably the easiest answer to this question is probably Cape Verde because nobody expected them to, have that kind of a match. Or DR Congo, nobody expected them to have that kind of a match. But we are sure, absolutely. Or even Qatar. Qatar drew with Switzerland, if you remember the first match. Qatar to draw with Switzerland is out of this. But we all know these are teams which will never cross into the major level. So for me, that team was probably Morocco, even though they are semi-finalists from last year. The kind of steady progress that they have made is amazing. I see Morocco at least a quarter-finalist in this tournament, if not more, if they can play in the same vein. Brazil was poor, but then it's still Brazil, and you're still playing the first opening round. So that was it was Morocco for me. But thank you, gentlemen, for spending this time with us. And everyone out there, if you like this kind of shows, please tell us in your comments. Do come to our site. You can hit the like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel because we will be having more such discussions in the coming days for this World Cup.